All right, it's still June 6, 2012. This is a quick short one to back up the video I did earlier. For those of you who don't know anything about history, I mentioned that, making planes crash, mind over matter, invisible entities that exist, anomalies that exist on this planet, have existed for millions and millions of years. For those of you who don't believe and it sounds like science fiction, get ready, because I'm going to back it up with something. In World War II, they had pilots used to say that they had gremlins in the plane. There were even some cartoons made by Bugs Bunny about the gremlins, in World War II. They also talked about Foo Fighters, things that they couldn't explain that they saw in the air. So there's a lot of YouTube videos under UFO, that were UFOs, Then the Germans, of course, came across with their jets, and that added to the hysteria. But when you put all these anomalies together, and you put all the things together that remember I said life is a jigsaw puzzle. It's an ongoing investigation, each person. And each person finds out different discoveries, different inventions, but different philosophies that actually explain themselves without having to argue about it. That's a different story. So there you have it. You start mixing all those stories. For instance, take every plane crash that has happened from the time I started making my recordings, just from that time in 2009, when I ran for mayor, and list out all the plane crashes that have happened and then correlate them to the dates and the statements I made in every one of those statements. I think you'll find you will blow your mind. I mean, it's not enough that I predicted 9/11 in a giant letter. Actually, I predicted it way before Bill Cooper predicted it. And he was shot to death over there 2 months after 9/11 happened. And he's the one that talked about the Kennedy conspiracies and that the government knows all this secret stuff and they were trying to serve some kind of warrant on him or something. And anyway, but, he's the guy who wrote Behold a Pale Horse and talks about the same stuff I did, Bilderberg Group, Trilateral Commission, the Rockefellers, the big money, the New World Order. They portrayed him as a militia member. Bill Cooper was never a militia member. He was a top secret naval officer. He saw things that he wasn't allowed to talk about. But he started talking about it. Just like Ralph McGehee, former CIA agent, who actually put out a CD where you can, surf his CD, his own CD on CIA mind control programs. All of these things matter, and you people just letting it happen. He said, well, your rationale is this, and this is most of the people in this country. Oh, well, as long as it doesn't happen to me, and as long as I don't know it's happening to me. Well, see, that's the biggest danger. If something is happening to you and you don't know it, then, again, the end result is what's important here. And since you people don't want to believe me, that's fine. You deserve what you get. But you have no right to drag me in on it. You see, because I am one of the avatars. I'm one of the people who is going to die soon, and I don't care. I'm depriving the planet Earth of some secrets that they're not going to find out for the rest of their history. Remember what I said about the history, the rap sheet of the human race? It's evil. The rap sheet of the human race has 7,775 years of wars and bits and pieces all over the planet. That only fosters my theory, which you people would classify it as a theory, that there are invisible entities that even the government doesn't know about, that have had contact with me, and I know how they work, and there's a reason why they chose me, because of my high intellectual abilities, because of my background in quantum physics, because of my background in being able to put puzzles together in ways that other people can't. See, they have configured and actually affected my DNA to configure, and brainwave patterns to configure things exactly the way they really are. I'm here as kind of like a warning. There are positive entities and there are negative entities. Some people in religious groups call them God and the devil. Believe me, those don't exist. God and the devil don't exist. This is just a natural order of the universe. One thing has to absorb another in order for it to continue existing. That is a fact. I don't have to theorize on this. Now, I'm only 5 minutes into this video, and I'm not going to make it long. You just go back and put all the plane crashes that have happened since the time I ran for mayor in 2009 and every YouTube, all 200 of them, and you're going to see hints and bits and pieces of the warnings before the plane crashes. Now, I don't care how many planes it takes to crash. I don't have to be Osama bin Laden. I don't have to physically go do anything. All I have to do is think about it. Remember the 99th monkey philosophy? Remember what I mentioned in one of the other videos? How when one monkey was shown how to wash its fruit, all of a sudden when it got to the 99th monkey on an island in the Sea of Japan, hundreds of miles away, a new set of monkeys started washing their fruit without being coached or told how to do it? All this has to deal with quantum physics down to the smallest atomic level. And you people don't understand. You're playing. As a matter of fact, most mankind, even the scientists, are playing with the big accelerators like the Fermi Lab and the CERN labs, which have the huge accelerators. But they really don't know what they're experimenting with. But what if you met an individual that told you they know exactly how a Mason thinks? Yes, Masons think. Atoms think. Because if they didn't, your brain wouldn't think. You wouldn't be alive. You just don't get it. It's eat or be eaten. And these people are doing it on an artificial level. The politicians are doing it on a financial level. And they destroy people's lives with it. There are alternative answers, but you people aren't going to go for it. Neither is the media. The media is screwing themselves every day that they report the news the way they are scripted to report it. They're screwing themselves. Eventually, trust me, it will catch up with all of you. It'll catch up with you in a cancer, a sickness, who knows, an accident. There are solutions, long-lasting solutions to all of these problems. But these people are too crazy. See, they work only on one level of understanding. And there are many, many, many levels of understanding. So many that it would boggle most people's imagination. They don't want to deal with it. Oh, that's too much for me. It's way over my head. See, they want to live their little life, and they don't care if they're being controlled as long as they don't know about it. Well, that's the biggest danger of all, because who's the one that's pulling the strings? What if that's one of the persons who's working as a puppet for the invisible entities that's going to make you die so that it can feed off of you some more? Now, I know it all sounds funny and it sounds like science fiction, and you think that I'm crazy. But do I really sound like I'm crazy? Because if I and by the way, they took all of my vehicles, all of my research work, documentation, that's gone. They literally raped me of every bit of evidence that I collected. Everything that I could chronologically show you, point for point, where one dot connects to the next dot, connects to the next dot, and actually convince you. Now it would take me talking and talking and talking forever in order to really bring some kind of proof, except for one thing. There are other people like me that are out there explaining bits and pieces of it as well. But you have to learn how to separate the stuff that is not true, where they're making mistakes, honest mistakes, and the stuff that is true. You have to learn your quantum physics, your chaos physics. You have to get all those ducks in a row in order to really be able to, it's like being able to tell good food from bad food. It's a good comparative example. You smell a piece of fish, it smells rotten. You know you wouldn't eat that to save your life. You catch a fresh piece of fish, there's no smell coming from it. Milk, if it smells sour, of course you're not going to drink it. It's the same thing. You have to learn how to separate these psychological anomalies so that you can get the right picture, the right information, and none of you are going to get it without people like me. So it behooves you, the media, to have aired me a long time ago before my bus was taken. That was my life. And since you cannot replace it, Now you're dealing with somebody who, yes, you're going to grovel at my feet if I live long enough, and I'm going to make you people suffer, every last one of you. And I don't have to do it with guns or anything. I do it by withholding information. Your planes will continue to crash. You won't have any answers. You'll continue having tornadoes. I know how to stop tornadoes in a flash, just like that. You think I'm crazy? You have to physically make an effort, of course, to stop a tornado, a big physical effort, but I know how to do it. But I'm not going to tell you. I don't give a hell about any of you. I don't give a hell if a comet comes and destroys the whole planet. You don't deserve to be saved because you have destroyed my life. If I was the only one on a UFO ship that aimed an asteroid at this planet, and I had a choice to push the button to save the planet or not push it, believe me, you don't want me on that UFO, because I would not push that button. That's right. I'd let you all go, because none of you deserve to live when you hurt even one person on the planet who doesn't deserve to be hurt. Matter of fact, even criminals don't deserve to be hurt. I mean, you know, it's a crazy situation. You people have made it, and you make other people suffer for it. So live with the next plane crash. Live with the next anomaly thing that will happen. And believe me, they will happen. When you could prevent it, but you don't.